Hi everyone, I'm Parul. Welcome to my channel Parul English Lab. In this lesson, we will look into future perfect continuous tense. This is the last and the most advanced tense in English language. So what are we waiting for? Let's get into it. Before going ahead, let's look at the structure first. So future perfect continuous is also called future perfect progressive tense. We know that all the continuous tenses, they are also called progressive. Okay. So the structure is subject plus will have been plus first form of the verb plus ing, because it is a continuous tense. So we use first form of the verb plus ing, because we know that we cannot use ing with second or third form of the verb. So first form of the verb here. Okay, let's go through some examples. First is they will have been sleeping. Okay, so this is the subject, then the verb tense, they will have been sleeping, sleep first form of the verb plus ing. Okay, so the structure will be like this. She, subject, will have been dancing. Okay, verb tense. I, subject plus verb tense, first form of the verb plus ing. Okay, you will have been writing, so subject plus verb tense. Alright, so this is the way how we make these kind of sentences, or how we construct these kind of sentences. What is future perfect continuous? Future means an action which will take place in future. Perfect means a completed action, and continuous means that the action will continue over a period of time. Okay, so according to this, future perfect continuous tense is a tense that refers to an action that continues for some time before it ends in future. Okay, how? Let's understand it with an example. We have a timeline here. Okay, so this is present, anything before present is past, and anything after present is future. Okay, now imagine that we have a specific time in future. Okay, this is a specific time in future. Now an action starts in present and continues till a specific time in future. Okay, so this is a duration. Now an action can start in past, in present, or in future. Okay, so that is not important when the action starts. The thing which is important is that it will continue at a specific time in future before it ends. So in future there should be a duration. Okay, that is what is important. When is it starting? That is not important. Okay, before ending in future, it should have a duration. Okay, it should have continued for some time before it ends in future. So what we have learnt just now about future perfect continuous, I will explain it to you all with some examples. Okay, so here we have three sentences. Okay, so let's understand them one by one on a timeline. So first one is, at 8 p.m. I will have been watching TV for an hour. Okay, so this is a timeline. Okay, this is present, before present is past, and after present is future. We know that already. Alright, now imagine that right now it is 7 p.m. Okay, it's 7 p.m. right now, and this is 8 p.m. a specific time in future. Okay, so here what am I saying? That I will have been watching TV for an hour. So I start an action from here at 7 p.m. Okay, so 7 to 8, there's a duration of 1 hour, and I know that, you know, if I start at 7, so obviously at 8 the duration will be of 1 hour. Okay, so what I can say, an action starts in present and it continues till a specific time in future. Okay, so this is 1 hour duration. So since we have a duration, okay, an action starts and then before it ends in future, it has a duration. Okay, so at 8 p.m. I will have been watching TV for an hour. Okay, so we will frame this kind of sentence in future perfect continuous, because an action before it ends in future, it continued for some time. Okay, so there is a duration, that's why future perfect continuous tense. Let's look at the next example. At 8 p.m. I will have been watching TV for 5 hours now. Okay, so here it's 3 p.m. Okay, right now it's 7, 3 p.m. is past. Okay, so an action starts in past and it continues for 5 hours. Okay, so this is a duration of 5 hours and it ends in future, but before that it continues for a specific period of time. Okay, now here it didn't start in present, but it started in past and continued till future. So again, future perfect continuous. Okay, so at 8 p.m. in future, I will have been watching TV for 5 hours. Okay, now the third one, at 8 p.m. I will have been watching TV for 30 minutes. That means the action will start in future at 7:30 p.m. Okay, all right, so I know that I will start this action at 7:30 and at 8 o'clock I will have been watching TV for 30 minutes because 7:30 to 8 p.m. the duration is of 30 minutes. Okay, so this is the duration. So I will have been watching TV for 30 minutes. So here you can understand it, like, you know, I told you that it doesn't matter when the action is starting, whether it is starting in past or present or in future, that is not important. But the thing which is important here is that before an action ends in future, it should have continued for some time. Okay, here I want to bring something really important to your notice. What is it? That we have two examples here. Okay, one is in future perfect. I will have worked at ABC for 10 years by next month. Okay, so subject plus will have plus third form of the verb. So this is future perfect. We have done that. Okay, now future perfect continuous, I will have been working at ABC for 10 years by next month. So subject plus will have been working. Okay, so this is in future perfect continuous. All right, now let's understand both the sentences on a timeline. Okay, first one, I will have worked at ABC for 10 years by next month. So what does it mean? So this is present. Okay, before present is past and after present is future. Okay, now just imagine that right now it is May 2022. Okay, present. Now according to this sentence, it means that I will have worked at ABC for 10 years by next month. So right now it's May 2022, next month is June 2022. So when there is a duration of 10 years, that means that the action of working started in past, June 2011, it continued for some time till a specific time in future. Okay, so the action started in June 2011 and it continued till a specific time in future and the duration is 10 years. Okay, so I will have worked at ABC for 10 years by next month 2022, which is June. Okay, now let's understand the another example. I will have been working at ABC for 10 years by next month. This means that an action started in past, it continues for a duration of 10 years till a specific time in future. Okay, so that means this sentence and the second sentence, they both mean the same. Okay, in this situation, wherever there is a duration, you can frame a sentence in future perfect or future perfect continuous. It is your wish. Okay, here I'm not saying that future perfect and future perfect continuous are same. No, future perfect tense can be used at different situations. Okay, this is not the only place where you can use future perfect tense. No, you can use it at different places. All right, but when you have a duration, so in this situation only, I'm just talking about this particular case. In this case, the meaning is same. future perfect and future perfect continuous, the meaning is same. Now understand one more thing. Work over here, the action is work, okay? So this is an action verb, it's a dynamic verb, okay? But what if you have a stative verb? Then in that case, you cannot frame a sentence in future perfect continuous, okay? Because we very well know that stative verbs can't be used in continuous forms, okay? So for example, if you have to say that I will have known him for 2 years by next month, okay? I will have known him for 2 years by next month. So that means the action started before 2 years, okay, and it will continue for 2 years till it reaches a specific time in future, okay? So you cannot frame this in future perfect continuous. I will have been knowing him for 2 years. That is incorrect because know is a stative verb and we cannot use stative verbs in continuous forms, okay? So in that case you have only one option, okay? So that's why we have two options. So it is up to you whenever you're talking about a duration, so whether you want to use future perfect or future perfect continuous, okay? Now same thing happens in other tenses also, be it present or past. Like in this case, present perfect continuous or present perfect are same. All right, I give you one more example. So here, first one is in present perfect and the second one is in present perfect continuous, okay? So what do they mean? First one, I have lived here for 2 years. So the duration is 2 years. That means this is a timeline and this is present, okay? So the action of living started in 2020 in past, okay? And there is a duration of 2 years and it continues till present. So this is present. The duration is 2 years, okay? So the action is still going on. So this is what it means, okay? Now second, I have been living here for 2 years. So that means an action started in past and again continues till present and the duration is 2 years, okay? So both the sentences have the same meaning here in this situation, okay? If you say I have lived here for 2 years or I have been living here for 2 years, it has the same meaning, okay? Again the same situation what we just have understood, okay? So I'm not saying that present perfect and present perfect continuous are same, not at all. But in this situation, when you have a duration, when you're talking about a duration, in this situation only, the meaning is same. You can use perfect or perfect continuous. Let's take an example of past tense also, okay? So first sentence is in past perfect and the second sentence is in past perfect continuous. I had lived in Mumbai for 2 years before I shifted to Delhi. So what does it mean? We know that past perfect means past in past, okay? So this particular tense shows the order of events in past, okay? So I started to live in Mumbai in 2010, okay, and the action continued till 2012, the duration of 2 years, okay? So it started in 2010 and ended in 2012 in past, okay? So this is what it means. Now look at the second sentence. I had been living in Mumbai for 2 years before I shifted to Delhi, okay? So I shifted to Delhi in 2012, okay, and before that I had been living for 2 years. So I started to live in 2010 and it continued till 2012 when another action took place, okay? So here both the sentences have same meaning. Again, in this situation when we have a duration, okay, so past perfect and past perfect continuous, like perfect and perfect continuous, you can use any of these tenses. They both mean same. When to use future perfect continuous tense? we use future perfect continuous tense to state that a future action will happen over a period of time before some other action, future action, interrupts it or stops it. How? Let's take an example. Children will have been studying for 3 hours when Max arrives. Okay, so let's understand it on a timeline. This is present, okay, right now. Before present is past and after present is future. So just imagine that right now it's 6 p.m. okay, and I know that Max will arrive at 7 p.m. okay. All right, so he will arrive at 7 p.m. and children have started to study at 4 p.m. okay. So 4 to 7, it's the duration is 3 hours. Okay, so here an action started in past and it will continue till future. Okay, when another action, future action, interrupts it or stops it. All right, so they will study till 7 p.m. when Max arrives. Okay, so that's how what we can say, children will have been studying for 3 hours. This is the duration of 3 hours, for 3 hours when Max arrives. Okay, or when Max will arrive. Here just remember one thing, that the action which has a duration will be in future perfect continuous tense. Okay, and the action which will take place in future, the interruption, we can call it an interruption also. Okay, that should be in present simple. Okay, this can't be in simple future. Okay, so this is the rule. However, the meaning here is Max will arrive. Okay, here we are not talking about present, we are talking about future only, but this is the way we frame a sentence. Here this is the rule, that the sentence which has a duration will be in future perfect continuous tense and the other action, the interruption, will be in present simple tense. Okay, so just remember this rule. Let's take another example. I will have been waiting for you for an hour by the time I meet you. Let's look at it on the timeline. Here this is present. Okay, and just imagine that it is 9 a.m. right now, and we decided, I and my friend, we decided that we would meet at 10 a.m. okay, so I have reached the place at 9, a bit early, and the action of waiting starts at 9 a.m. okay, and I know that my friend will come at 10 a.m. okay. So here there is a duration of 1 hour. Okay, so I can say that I will have been waiting for you for an hour, because this is the duration, by the time I meet you. Okay, so the action of waiting will be interrupted by another action, the action of meet. Okay, when my friend comes in future, I will have been waiting for him for an hour. Okay, so that is how we frame these kind of sentences, by using future perfect continuous, and the interruption will be in simple present tense. Here you can see subject plus meet, first form of the verb. Let's go through some more examples. She will have been watching TV for 30 minutes when I call. So again, there is a duration of 30 minutes. Okay, so this will be in future perfect continuous tense, and the interruption, the action which will happen in future, which will interrupt this action, will be in simple present. Okay, next is I will have been bathing my dog when you get home from work, means when you reach home or when you come back home. Okay, so when this action will happen in future, so this action of bathing, will have been going on. Okay, so this is in future perfect continuous, and then simple present. Okay, so here you can see that we connect the sentences with when or by midnight, by then, by at 7 p.m., by next year. Okay, so these words we use to frame such sentences. She will have been cooking by 8. Okay, so these two sentences were where we have interruptions. Okay, when in future an action will interrupt the action which will have been going on. Okay, here we can frame the sentences like this also, wherein we have a particular time in future, okay, and before that another action continue till that specific time in future. Okay, so that is why this action is in future perfect continuous tense. Okay, so here by then, again not a specific time but a vague time in future. By then, any time in future, by then children will have been sleeping for 2 hours. Okay, so this action will have been taking place. Okay, the action of sleeping will have been going on at that point of time. Okay, by midnight I will have been studying for 5 hours. So again here we do not have another action, okay, but we have a time in future. Now that time can be a specific time or a vague time. Okay, so here at 7 p.m. she will have been watching a movie for 2 hours. Sometimes you might see a sentence wherein you do not have this duration, okay, for 2 hours or for 5 hours. So but if it is written she will have been watching a movie, that means the action of watching will have been going on. Okay, they are not talking about that particular time that at 7 p.m. If we frame it in future continuous, at 7 p.m. she will be watching a movie, so we are talking about that particular moment only. Okay, at 7 p.m. exactly what action will be going on at that point of time. Okay, but when we say we will have been watching a movie, that means that there is a duration. Okay, that means this is a long action. The action of watching started earlier and it will continue till a specific time in future. Okay, before it ends in future, before that it will continue. Okay, so this is the difference between simple future and future perfect continuous. Now next is, next year I will have been working here for 10 years. Okay, so right now I have not completed 10 years with this company. Okay, but next year I will have been working here for 10 years. That means I will complete 10 years with this company. Okay, so this is the way you use future perfect continuous to construct different kind of sentences. You can use it with another action or with a specific or a vague time in future. Okay. Let's look at some contractions. I will is I apostrophe. This is called apostrophe, and we will remove wi over here. Everywhere we will remove wi. Okay, and double L will be there, so I apostrophe double L. You will is you apostrophe double L. We will, we apostrophe double L. They will, they apostrophe double L. He apostrophe double L. She apostrophe double L, and it apostrophe double L. So pronunciation will be like I will, I'll. You will, you will. Okay, I will do that, I'll do that, don't worry. Okay, we will, we'll do that. They will, they'll. He will, he'll. She will, she'll. It will, it'll. Okay, it will be done, it'll be done. Okay, next is I won't. So these are negative contractions. I will not is I won't. You won't, we won't, they won't, he won't, she won't, it won't. Okay, so N-O-T. So basically you have to remove O over here and you have to put an apostrophe. Okay, so these are contractions. We have done them many times. I do it in every video, every tense video I tell you contractions. Please practice and you will understand them better. Let's go through some positive, negative and interrogative sentences in future perfect continuous. So first is she will have been painting. Negative, she will not have been painting. Will she have been painting? If you want to frame a negative question, will she not have been painting, or won't she have been painting? He will have been writing a letter. He will not have been writing a letter. Will he have been writing a letter? Will he not have been writing a letter? Won't he have been writing a letter? They will have been sleeping. They will not have been sleeping. Will they have been sleeping? Will they not have been sleeping? Won't they have been sleeping? Okay, so this will give you a fair idea about how to frame positive, negative and interrogative questions in future perfect continuous. Before I end this video, I want to give you a suggestion that I have made exclusive videos on tenses. Please watch them carefully, and if you get stuck somewhere, then pause, try to understand the concept, and if required, then watch them over and over again until you master it, okay? Because tenses are very important. If you want to be fluent in English, if you want to have a good command on the language, you need to have a good understanding of all the grammatical concepts. When I say grammar, then it includes tenses, verbs, types of verbs, forms of verbs, subject, predicate, noun, pronoun, object, direct, indirect, and many more things, prepositions, etc. Okay, so until you master all of this, you can never be fluent. Okay, so please practice, and I always say that whenever you want to learn a language, you need to have that language rich environment. Okay, and if you don't have that, you need to create it for you. How you can create? Through practice. Think of some different kind of sentences, okay, and then try to construct new sentences using different tenses, and that's how you can practice. You can create that language rich environment. Okay, so please practice, and if you have any doubts, you can always ask me. Thank you. Take care. Thank you for watching my videos. If you find them helpful, please like and share with your friends. Feel free to leave comments. Do subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon to receive a notification for the new videos. Thank you, take care and have a great day.